Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Caribbean Bakery, made Cayman fresh. Health City, now open at Camana Bay 7 days a week.
The Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure, and by West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the record.
For the record. For the record.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the record.
For the record. For the record.
Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Ort Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees, so fair. Today is Wednesday, the 7th day of July 2021. I hope and I trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Also, an enjoyable constitutional weekend, the long weekend that we had. This is the first day for the record since last week, Friday. So I hope and I trust that everyone is doing well. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, again, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. Remember to adjust your driving to suit the road conditions as well. And I think some of our roads may be a little bit wet this morning. We may have had some precipitation earlier in the morning. So you want to ensure that you drive responsibly, drive carefully, and remember that the life you save may be your own. So whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or operating any type of motorized vehicle, you want to ensure that you observe the rules of the road. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday, or if you celebrated one over the past few days, a belated happy birthday to you as well. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to express our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these very challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing as well. For those who are not feeling well, and if you're either at home or at a medical facility, we want to wish you a speedy recovery also. So folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy and wet roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I'm your host, Ort Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, we have our phone lines that are open. Beautiful radio voice, that of Miss Susan Watson, waiting to take your calls. You can call us on our toll-free number provided courtesy of Flow. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. Email us at For the Record, one word, For the Record at candw.ky. WhatsApp us, 925-3261, where you can send us a text message or leave us a voice note, the contents of which will be played during the course of the show. And of course, you can follow us on YouTube simply by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. Before I introduce my guest this morning, I want to give you the COVID-19 update for the 6th of July. That's yesterday. And the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. John Lee, reported that 685 COVID-19 tests had been carried out since it was last reported on Friday, the 2nd of July. There was one positive result in a traveler. And to date, 94,000, and 93 COVID-19 vaccinations had been given in total in the Cayman Islands. Of those, 48,665, which represents 68% of an estimated 71,100 population, had at least one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine, and approximately 64% have completed the two-dose course as well. We have also seen recently, and this is not in the news release, these are my words now, we have also seen that there has been a slowdown in the uptake of the vaccine, and we need to continue our campaign and to encourage those persons who want to get the vaccine, who need to get the vaccine, to do so as well. We don't want to wait until it comes down to crunch time to do that. We need to continue to encourage people. We know, we have seen what happens in other countries. British Virgin Islands, they're up to 500 members of their population testing positive for COVID-19. As a result of that, they have had to reverse some of their policies, impose new curfews again, impose new protocols. And why? Simply because they opened up too early. They allowed people to do things that they should not have been doing too early. So we sit at an advantage point where we see what has happened in other jurisdictions. So we need to continue to campaign. We need to continue to encourage people to become vaccinated as well. So we just simply have to continue that. Just a little bit of trivia, historical trivia. We always hear the saying when someone says, "Oh, how is that? How is that particular item that you have doing or whatever?" And the person says, "Never had anything better since Norberg's sliced bread." Yeah, we've heard that saying before. Well, on Saturday, the 7th of July, 1928, a small bakery in Missouri had achieved what many bakers considered impossible. It sold the first loaf of sliced bread. So the first loaf of sliced bread, not Norberg's, but the first loaf was sold on Saturday, the 7th of July, 1928. With that, I will now introduce my guests, and what they're going to talk about has nothing to do with sliced bread. In the studio, no stranger, Mr. Alfonso Wright, chairperson or co-chair of Celebrate Cayman. Also with us, we have Mr. Denson Tibbetts, the president of the Cayman Islands Seafarers Association, and my usual sidekick in the studio, none other than Dr. Steve McField. So, gentlemen, good morning. Welcome back to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How was the weekend for everyone?
I had a pretty productive weekend. I got lots of work in, but I got some rest too.
Okay.
Yeah, but I just want you to know, though, see that I always prefer to cut my own slice of bread.
Yes. Doc, how are you? Morning.
I had a very, very interesting weekend with my uncle in the hospital getting a surgery, and then moving my office from one location to the other. That was something. After 13 years being in one place, and then deciding to move. I think this is probably my last move. I don't think I'm going to move from another place again. It keeps me going, keeps me young. The unknown keeps me fascinated. I like challenges. So it was a good challenge this weekend, and I got a lot of stuff done.
Okay. Do you find moving an office similar to like when you're moving a house where you don't realize that you have so much stuff until you start to move?
Yes, I had to take half of my stuff home. So it couldn't fit in the new offices, and then I am like a a hoarder. I keep stuff for years and years and years. I have stuff
Welcome to the club.
from I was in the university and from I was in college. I have stuff that are 50 years old that I carry around the world with me from when I left Vancouver and went to Cayman and then Cayman to England. I still have paperwork that I have, notes and books and stuff from then. And I wonder how...
Is it eligible?
Pardon me?
Is it eligible? Can you read it?
Yes. Oh, yes. I can read it. I can read it, and then I have all these articles, that you save from magazines and stuff, and you would not believe how they accumulate. So, I think I have to donate some of those things to some people so that they can read a lot of the stuff in the past.
Good idea.
Well, Dr. McFeely, it might be interesting to find out why you say this will be your last move.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
Well, I don't think I'm going to move to another place again. I think I'll stay here until I go.
Go where?
Yeah. Well, until I pass on.
To the promised land?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I intend to live another 25 years. I intend to live another 25 or 30 years. So
You're going to break all the records.
yeah. So don't look for that right away.
Too early.
I am not, I guarantee you.
Yes.
Okay, over to you, Mr. Tibbetts.
I had a lovely weekend, a lot of rest, but I did manage to squeeze in a baking of a cassava cake, which went like lightning. And I also, I don't know if the listeners are aware, but I'm a kind of quasi counselor for the people at Caribbean Haven, and every first Sunday of the month we have a potluck.
Okay.
And I cook turtle meat for them and breadfruit, and it went across really, really well. So it was a productive. And then Monday, of course, I rested.
Okay, your cassava cake is it the
stretcher
one? The
that's
stretcher one? Not too much sugar.
Cayman Braxton.
Okay.
My vice president says it's the best. John Douglas. He says like the old time north side. Of course, he's from the Brac too, so maybe that explains it.
Okay. Well, while you have the mic, we're 2 minutes away from a commercial break, but let's tell our audience why you're here this morning with us.
Well, I'm here with, as you said earlier, Alfonso, who is the chairperson for the Celebrate Cayman. But on Sunday this week, we're having a new thing. It's a what do you call it?
Sea Sunday.
Sea Sunday. This is something that was introduced by St. Vincent de Paul, an offshoot of the Catholic Church. It has been in operation for 111 years, but it's only now coming to us. So Celebrate Cayman will be assisting, and it's on Sunday. We're going to have a mass at the Catholic Church at 11:30. Then we'll have a lunch at Lobster Pot at 1. And while we're doing the lunch, the youngsters will be downstairs with the Catboat Club doing a regatta.
Oh, okay.
So we're inviting as many people. Well, we can accommodate 130, was it, Alfonso?
For the lunch?
Yeah.
Okay, I can't remember.
I think it was 130, and we only had like 4 to 5 people
confirmed
so far. So the good thing about it, you pay for yourself. You know, you don't have to pay for nobody else, just yourself. But in addition to that, Alfonso has a lot of things doing for the what do you call it again, Alfonso?
It's the Seafarers Registry.
Yeah, the Seafarers
that we're
Registry.
working on now. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, tomorrow night or tomorrow evening we go in on the north side, and then.
So we'll get into more detail in that as when the discussion continues. We're going to take our first commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Land ownership, like many societies, has been extremely important to the Cayman Islands. Outside of the land grants of 1735 to 1742, the traditional Caymanian method of acquiring land ownership was to claim, mark, work, and build on any unused tract of land. Although the informal system worked well in the earlier days, a more robust system was put into place which would be to everyone's best interest. The Land Registration Act passed in September 1850, and an official registrar of lands was appointed. Former slaves were able to obtain title to their homes, and larger landowners obtained stronger titles, which permitted them to profit by selling surplus land. The system seems to have worked almost too well, as concerns regarding land ownership became virtually obsolete, and the relatively modest population size did not deplete land resources or create a competitive market. It would not be until 1960 that the land registrations would undergo significant change in order to keep pace with the influence of modern development.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Rotary Central and you, our valued community, have undertaken remarkable accomplishments since October 1986. Over 34 years of activity and projects, making lives better and moving our beloved Cayman forward. Rotary Central has yet again committed to the advancement of these islands, this time in the area of mental health. We are proud to announce our partnership with Loud Silent Voices and donation of $50,000 to provide a community home for those recovering from various mental illnesses. Rotary Central and Loud Silent Voices, a signature project, taking care of the vulnerable, helping families manage, more than a shoulder, more than a helping hand, literally calming the storm. Rotary Central, care in every effort, sweat in every project, every dollar planted back in the community with your help. Rotary opens opportunities.
When I was growing up in Cayman, Sundays was always a big day for our family. Everyone would go to Granny's house for Sunday dinner after church. Even today, I can still smell the aroma of all the delicious food we used to eat, especially the hot, fresh baked bread smothered in butter, topped off with our favorite pan cheese. These days, I don't have enough time to cook and bake, but I do my best to carry on the Sunday tradition of family meals, and being able to get hot, fresh bread with no preservatives or additives from Caribbean Bakery is a big help for me. Shh, don't tell them, they still think I baked it. Caribbean Bakery, now delivering every Sunday to McGrath's grocery store in Eastern Avenue and Marina Drive. Caribbean Bakery, made Cayman fresh.
Health City is now open at Camana Bay, offering a wide range of specialties at our state-of-the-art Camana Bay Clinic. We are here to help you save time and feel better. We are open weekdays, weekends, and evenings for your convenience and are dedicated to reducing your wait time while improving your health. Friendly staff, expert care, lab services, and diagnostics in one convenient location from the hospital you know and trust. Health City at Camana Bay, within your reach.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
Are you feeling sick, but don't feel ill enough to go to the doctor? Ask your pharmacist for advice. Here at West Bay Pharmacy, our pharmacists have been trained to offer helpful, easy-to-understand advice on the treatment of everyday minor ailments for yourself and all the family. Anything from headaches, cough and sore throat, to cold sores, our pharmacists will know when medical help is needed and will not hesitate to refer you to your doctor if your symptoms demand it. Like doctors, our pharmacists have a professional code, which means all personal information you give them will be treated in the strictest confidence. Visit us today at West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me this morning, Mr. Alfonso Wright, Dr. Steve McPhail, and Mr. Denston Tibbetts. We're talking about some of the activities of the Cayman Islands Seafarers Association, some of the things that are taking place. One is Sea Sunday that will be celebrated this coming Sunday, which would be the 11th of July. And very quickly before I throw the mic back over, this is on the mission to seafarers, and they say here second Sunday in July is when we come together across the globe to celebrate the role seafarers play in our daily lives, to thank them for the hardships they face and the sacrifices that they have been forced to endure, as seafarers. And they go on to talk about the fact that you can join with your church, your community groups, your schools, or individually to celebrate this as well. So, gentlemen.
Yeah, well, see, like Mr. Tibbetts said, this is something new to us here, but this has been celebrated across the world for over a century now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's I want to say the celebration of our seafaring heritage, is making some big positive impacts on our little community here as well. So a lot of good things are now coming out once we start working on things and highlighting events and the lives that the seafarers played in the development of Cayman. So Sea Sunday is another one of those byproducts that is coming to us, and rightly so. It should be something that we do here. And we have invited across the island all of the churches, including the SDA congregation, who go to church on Saturdays, but nevertheless it's what we're celebrating, not necessarily the day. I know the second Sunday in July is the day that's designated each year for churches.
It started from 1890,
Yeah.
But
So-
I must just add, Alfonso, not cutting you. We have a lot of members who are Seventh-day Adventists. A lot of seafarers are members of the Adventist Church, so it goes along.
Yeah, so we're joining with the rest of the world right now with this one, and asking that the churches say a little prayer, for seafarers on church at some point on Saturday and Sunday of this weekend.
Or even pastors may want to gear their sermon towards that.
That's right. Some will do that.
Yes.
Because again, a lot of the local pastors anyway also have seafaring experience as well. We had the pleasure of having Pastor Winston Rose do the prayer for us at the renaming of Seafarers Way, and an experienced sailor himself. So yes, there's always a good time, always the right time to celebrate the activities and the trials and tribulations of our beloved seafarers. And this is just all the time.
I mentioned in my remarks that morning, Friday gone week, but I was so proud to see so many seafarers and their wives at that function of the renaming of the. It was really heartwarming. It showed that sometimes they remember.
Yeah, and they certainly throw their support, behind everything that is done, because they're celebrating themselves as well.
Yeah.
Yes. And they have so much to be proud of. Every morning that they wake up in the Cayman Islands, or if you're somewhere else and you hear about the Cayman Islands, as a seaman, you know that you have played a huge
role in where we are today, because of where we are today, as well.
I was privileged to speak with an American lady yesterday who is so pleased that she's now a member working in Cayman because of all the things that seafarers have done for us, for the countries, for the 3 islands. And she recognizes, thankfully, that she's here enjoying the fruits of our labor. It's not often that you find expatriates, especially, thinking about it. They think, oh, this is just a haven. They just come to make money and go. But fortunately, now that we're on the map, and thanks to the government for all that they've done, I'm only fortunate to be the head of the association and all these happenings, But that doesn't make me any different from the normal seafarer, because I was a seafarer for a long time.
Okay, still have about 2 minutes before we go to our break.
Right, so we'll see what I would like to, my challenge today would be that while we have invited the churches, and I'm sure that most of them will, say something, say a prayer, or maybe have a sermon about our seafarers. And my challenge would be to individuals who may not go to church this weekend, to, in your regular prayer, to also send up a prayer for our seafarers on all that they've done. And because we don't have a load of people in Cayman still going to sea, there's still a lot of sailors out there. The bulk of the freight worldwide is still moved by ships. And thank God they're still operated by individuals, by human beings, and not necessarily computers. So say a prayer for them, Saturday or Sunday, or anytime you feel like it, so that at least, we could be in unison on the weekend as a country who's praying for our seafarers.
Okay.
Also, the luncheon that we're having on Sunday.
Yes.
We'll invite people to come out, because they can accommodate 135, I think they said, and so far we only have 45 people coming. So
who do they call? How do they?
They call you, of course.
I don't have the details on that. That's more on your side. They
can call me 916-3334. That's my cell number anytime, and I'll give whoever calls the information.
Okay. So they shouldn't. Should they book the lobster pot separately themselves?
No. They have to come through us.
Okay. So we will give those details. We will give more details in relation to how you go about making arrangements. We want to ensure that every seat is filled and that full support is thrown behind our founders in the founders of modern Cayman, or seafarers. We're going to take a break for our 8 o'clock news, folks. When we return, a conversation with Mr. Alfonso Wright, Dr. Steve McPhail, and Mr. Denniston Tibbetts will continue, so don't change that dial. Please stay tuned, and remember, phone lines will be open as well.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. And the studio time now by Foster's is 7:59.
So it's your turn to cook tonight. What are we having?
Well, we have chicken thighs, pork chops, sirloin steak, ground chicken, or beef stir fry.
Wow, so many options.
Yeah, I got them from the Foster's Pick 5 selection. You can choose any 5 specially marked packs for $19.99. The meat is always fresh and never previously frozen. It's the perfect way to stock up for the week.
So all of this only costs $19.99?
It sure did.
Pick 5 is available at all locations, and selection may vary between stores. Foster's, better value because we care.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Caymanbrac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. Are you aware of the performance of your pension plan? The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan provides quarterly fund fact sheets for our members to stay informed with the plan's performance. For the year ended 30th of April, 2021, the various life cycle funds have provided returns between 10.5% and 43.2%. And our all-in expense ratio for year ended 30th of June, 2020 is currently the lowest it's ever been. pension, 0.72%. Visit chamberpension.ky to review our fund fact sheets. You can see the performance as far back as 10 years. Remember that pensions are a longer-term investment strategy. Focus on the long term rather than the short-term returns. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan continues to perform for you.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Kersley Fuller. Tuesday morning, a female loggerhead turtle there was found stranded in a swimming pool after being disoriented by lighting when she had come up to the beach to nest. Luckily, staff at the property, along with the Department of Environment's conservation officers and turtle volunteers, were able to get her out of the pool and guide her back home. The DOE says it's not a rare occurrence. It happens to nesting turtles and their hatchlings every year. And if not found quickly, turtles can become exhausted and stressed, which can then lead to serious injury and death. For more information on turtle-friendly lighting, you can email doe@gov.ky. If you spot a turtle or hatchlings in distress, you're encouraged to call 916-4271. Requests for liquor, music, and dancing licenses can be submitted online starting this Friday. More from Radio Cayman's Shanda Gallego.
License holders wishing to renew at the September 2020 meeting of the Liquor Licensing Board should visit the licensing page of the Department of Commerce and Investment website. They will need the current trade and business license number associated to their current liquor license number in order to complete the online renewal process. Requests for variations to licenses should be submitted along with the renewal application at the business licensing counter on the first floor of the Government Administration Building. In addition, liquor licenses renewed for the September 2020 annual session will receive a temporary reduction of the annual renewal fees for 2021 per the Liquor Licensing Fees Amendment Regulations 2020. This reduction of fees does not apply to music and dancing licenses or liquor licenses granted during the September 2020 annual session and subsequently quarterly sessions. Requests will be considered at the upcoming annual liquor licensing meeting on September 13th, 2021. The deadline for applications is August 13th, 2021.
And in other news, University College of the Cayman Islands pandemic steel pan band there, providing entertainment for dozens of residents who showed up on Saturday for the annual mango season at the museum. Attendees got a chance to satisfy their mango cravings with a full display of local food, mango jams and jellies, mango peeling and eating competition as well. The event also featured catboat rides in the harbor, traditional thatch work, and net making, arts and crafts. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Kersley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News, I'm John Shea. Heavy fighting has broken out in the western Afghan city of Kala-e-Nau, with Afghan soldiers trying to push back a Taliban assault. The provincial governor said the militants had entered the city from 3 directions, but they'd been forced to retreat. He denied reports that the city had fallen. The interim Prime Minister of Haiti says President Jovenel Moïse was shot dead in an armed attack on his private home overnight. Claude Joseph says he's taken control of Haiti and has called for calm. President Moïse had been ruling by decree since the delay of elections and the resurgence of armed gangs. The Chinese online tech company Tencent appears to have terminated almost all university-based LGBT groups operating on its social media platform WeChat. It's unclear if WeChat was acting on government orders. A court in Paris has given suspended jail sentences of between 4 and 6 months to 11 people for the online harassment of a French teenager who posted anti-Islamic videos on social media. The victim received death threats on her Instagram account after her video went viral last year. Scientists say it's been the hottest June ever in North America and the second warmest in Europe. Climate experts say the findings point to a frightening escalation in temperature extremes. The funeral of Zambia's first president, Kenneth Kaunda, is underway in the capital, Lusaka. He's being interred at the presidential burial site, despite a court challenge by some members of his family. They wanted him to be laid to rest at his residence next to his wife, in accordance with his wishes. And that's the latest BBC World News.
The 8 a.m. news is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky.
The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. We are a non-for-profit member-centric plan with a democratically elected volunteer board of trustees representing all sectors of the Cayman Islands economy. Chamber Pension has an all-in expense ratio of 0.72% over 16,000 members, $430 million in assets under management. We were the first multi-employer pension plan approved by the regulator in the late 1990s. And today, we are still strong, secure, and are here for employees and employers alike. If you would like to join or request further information, visit chamberpension.ky. And for information as it happens, follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Email admin@pensions.ky or call 745-7630. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
We asked 100 people what they would do with a little extra time. Top answers included hang with friends, sleep, volunteer, walking on the beach, watch TV. But the odd thing is, no one said, stand in line to pay my bill. Funny that. Now Logic introduces Logic My Account. Pay online, view bill history, schedule automatic payments, and more. Go to logic.ky/my account and pay online, not stand in line. Logic My Account. Go on. Give yourself a little extra time. Bake a cake, browse the web, yoga, spring clean.
As the community continues to take precautions from COVID-19, it is important to stay prepared for other disasters now that we're in the hurricane season. Here are some post-hurricane safety tips from the Department of Environmental Health. Did you know you must ensure all utensils are washed with detergent and rinsed with hot water if they make contact with flood water? For full guidance on post-hurricane safety tips, visit www.deh.gov.ky.
The 8:10 a.m. Weather Report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Pan American International Insurance Corporation. Pan American International Insurance Corporation, meeting the life, accident, and health insurance needs of individuals and businesses to ensure financial security and peace of mind. For more information, call 949-8304 or visit www.palig.com. That's PALIG.com.
For over 100 years, more than 5.8 million people across the Americas and the Caribbean have placed their trust in Pan American Life Insurance Group. We have delivered on our promise and have proven that we are more than an insurance company. We are family. To learn more about our first-in-class individual and group life, disability and accident solutions, please visit Pan American International Insurance Corporation at Unit 221, Cannon Place East, North Song Road, Grand Cayman, or contact us at 949-8304 and visit us online at www.palig.com. Pan American Life, people you can trust for life.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the very latest weather report. Current temperature is 82 degrees. Relative humidity is at 100%. The barometric pressure is 29.97 inches and rising. The wind is out of the east at 5 knots. Overnight lower temperature was 77 degrees. Synopsis indicate moderate east to southeast winds and seas will continue across the Cayman area due to a ridge of high pressure over the Caribbean. Radar images show isolated showers in and around the Cayman area moving towards the northwest. Now the forecast for today calling for partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of morning showers, and temperatures will be in the upper 80s with a heat index of 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be southeast at 10 to 15 knots and seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Pretty much the same for tonight, partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers and temperatures falling to the upper 70s tonight. Winds will be southeast at 10 to 15 knots and seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. We're presently at a high tide and the next low tide will be this afternoon at 2:17 and a high tide again tonight at 9:15. The sun will set this evening at 6 minutes past 7 and will rise tomorrow morning at 5:54. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Friday morning.
The 8:10 a.m. weather report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Pan American International Insurance Corporation. Pan American International Insurance Corporation, meeting the life, accident, and health insurance needs of individuals and businesses to ensure financial security and peace of mind. For more information, call 949-8304 or visit www.palig.com. That's PALIG.com.
For over 100 years, more than 5.8 million people across the Americas and the Caribbean have placed their trust in Pan American Life Insurance Group. We have delivered on our promise and have proven that we are more than an insurance company. We are family. To learn more about our first-in-class individual and group life, disability and accident solutions, please visit Pan American International Insurance Corporation at Unit 221, Cannon Place East, North Song Road, Grand Cayman, or contact us at 949-8304 and visit us online at www.palig.com. Pan American Life, people you can trust for life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Achieving your goals is a very rewarding feeling, but at times can feel very frustrating, especially if and when we miss our target. As you approach your goals in life, set yourself up for success.
When setting your goals, tell a friend. Having an accountability partner is often helpful in achieving your goals. Let your parents and partner know what you are planning or doing. Sharing with others also helps us to develop the ideas and our vision. Writing down your goals can help to solidify them for you and help you to stay accountable.
Change your thinking and change your life.
Radio Cayman's Cayman Strong Series was brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. OnCourse Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Good morning, Cayman Islands. Let's take a look at what's happening on our roads. On the Linford Pearson Highway, traffic is busy. Slight delays expected as you're heading down to Georgetown. Also coming off of Agnes Way, traffic busy and steady traffic on Huldah Avenue. On the West Bay Road and from the Ritz, traffic is moving along moderately, as well as on Shedden Road. Edward Street, light to moderate traffic flow and light traffic on Owen Roberts Drive. Crew Road, busy in some section, other sections steady and busy traffic coming off the Estella Tibbetts Highway heading towards the Butterfield Roundabout. And continuing on to the Industrial Park area, traffic is busy. That's the very latest on your traffic. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12 o'clock. We'll give you another traffic report. Remember, some roads are wet, so please drive with extra care. That's the very latest, and remember, click it or ticket.
At Subway, we know a meal isn't quite complete without a side, and that's why we're introducing waffle fries. Subway's waffle fries are oven-baked softness with extra crispy edge, giving a satisfying taste to be enjoyed as is or in any of Subway's dipping sauces. Order waffle fries as a side item for $2 or make it a meal deal. Subway, eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Want to continue your education but don't have the money? UCCI has more than $100,000 in new scholarships, but you need to apply by July 16th. You may qualify for up to $4,000 per year, depending on your area of study. Several new scholarships are targeted at students with financial need. The money is there, but the deadline is approaching fast. Visit ucci.edu.ky/financial aid. Call 623-8224 or visit the on-campus one-stop center for more information.
That thing we've been saying for 64 years, ignore it. Eat the KFC wings, drink the KFC gravy, fill up on fries. Just please forget the thing we normally suggest. You know, that thing you used to do with your tongue after finishing a delicious piece of our KFC chicken. We get it. It's not easy. There's a reason why it's been our slogan for over half a century. But the world's drastically changed of late, and as soon as we can embrace the change, the sooner we can all get back to doing what we do best. KFC. It's good.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Dr. Steve McField, Mr. Alfonso Wright, and Mr. Denniston Tibbetts. We're talking about activities that are taking place in relation to the whole year where we're celebrating our seafarers in the Cayman Islands, and we're talking specifically about Sunday, the 11th of July, where Sea Sunday is celebrated. And I believe, gentlemen, this is the first time that it'll be celebrated in Cayman, is it? Is it the first time?
It's the first time.
First time it'll be celebrated.
But it was started from 1890.
Yes.
I found one of the flyers that's out on it, OC, and it says that the location is the Lobster Pot and Cayman Catboat Club. Sunday, July 11th, time is 1 p.m. It's a buffet lunch, $30 per person, drinks not included. And it does give a number on the thing here that says RSVP 949-2736. I guess they're encouraging you to call. I think that's the Lobster Pot number.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's on the flyer that they sent out here. Is the number to call. So Sunday, July 11th, 11:30. 11 or 11:30?
11:30.
11:30 is the church service at St. Ignatius Catholic Church.
Yes.
They'll be doing mass there, and then on to the Lobster Pot for 1 o'clock lunch, and the afternoon. We'll see some catboats, some catboat rides and stuff going on along with the Catboat Club members.
So all of those persons who would normally do a Sunday brunch, we would want to encourage them. I think, Mr. Tibbetts, you said so far you have about 45 confirmations, but there is seating for at least 130 persons, and we want all of those persons who are either seafarers or family of seafarers, or even those of you who benefit now from the sacrifices that our seafarers have made. Go out there, get out there and support them as well. So we want to continue to hammer home that point. So, if you normally do your Sunday brunch, do it in support of our seafarers. Do it at the Lobster Pot on this Sunday, the 11th. Let's talk a little bit more again, or repeat, about the churches as well. We know that this service is taking place at St. Ignatius, but for those persons who are not necessarily of the Catholic persuasion, they may want to celebrate, encourage pastors are being invited and encouraged to either say a prayer or to gear their sermon around seafaring on Sunday the 11th as well.
I think Celebrate Cayman has extended that invitation to all the churches, including the Seventh-day Adventists, to do their thing on Saturday.
Yeah, that is correct.
And like I said before, we have a lot of seafaring members who are Seventh-day Adventists, so it bodes well with them. I think we were also supposed to invite the governor and some members of parliament. Alfonso, was that done?
Yeah, I think those invitations went out as well. Well, I'm sure they did.
So hopefully, we'll have some of the members of parliament and the governor. And I've been told by the powers that be that I have to make remarks, ring the bell, and I have to say a seafarer's prayer and all that. So
that's what happens when you're in high places.
Exactly. Yes.
Much is required of you.
I'm trying to live up to it, my friend.
And you're doing a good job too.
Thank you.
OC, also want to speak a little bit about the Seafarers Registry. We've launched that now a few months ago, and we're doing our best now to make sure that we can corral all of the other seafarers out there who have not yet been registered with us. Many of them we know have passed on, but we have relatives left behind who need to make sure that they are placed within the Seafarers Register. So we're doing what we're calling a roadshow. We're going to all of the districts, and we're encouraging people to come out so they can search the registry. But also we have the capability at these outings to also give you access to a computer if you want to, or you can sit with somebody and have your loved one registered. But because later on in the year now is when we go about honoring these people, because we only got some of the higher echelons of the Seafaring Society honored on National Heroes Day. But our goal here is to recognize all seafarers before the year is over. So whether you were a pumpman, AB, OS,
messman,
whatever it is, we acknowledge that contribution and want to say thank you to you in a special way. So we need you to get your names into the registry. We were in East End last week, Thursday. So every Thursday for the next 5 weeks, we're doing the road show. Tomorrow, we're in Northside. The events are always 4 to 7. It'll be at the Northside Civic Center. And we're also, in addition to the Seafarers Register information, we're also having some what we consider complimentary health and wellness checks. So, for instance, we'll have Royal Medical out there who can do some checks for diabetes, some checks for prostate, your PSA testing. Can also be done, high blood pressure checks. Lions Club is organizing this side of it, and they also will be able to do site testing right there on site.
Okay.
That has been something that's been much improved. In days gone by, you had to sit in a dark room and they shine the stuff up on the wall. You no longer do that. We have things like goggles that they put on your head now, and you look through, and that measures all your site issues. So we thank them for that. We will also have the Department of Children and Family Services speaking about their services, in each of the districts as well. So there's a ton of information that you can get when you come in there. So it's set up booth style. So you walk into the room and you can go from booth to booth. So anywhere between 4 and 7, you can come in and have that. Then you can sit down and have conversations with other seafarers. Or if you're not a seafarer but you want to share a story, you want to talk to a seafarer, you can do that. We conducted 4 interviews in East End last week, and we hope to be able to do the same thing. So we're beginning to put on record, stories of seafarers now for future use, and things that we can put together and make good stories from.
Okay, I believe we have a caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hello, good morning, gentlemen. How are you all doing?
Good morning, fine. How are you?
Good morning.
Doing good. I just want to raise something here that I think that the seafarers themselves could give consideration to, and that is the award of the seafarers. I call it the seafarers pension to the widows of seafarers, because I know there are a number of women who, having had their husbands pass on, have had that seafarer's stipend removed because they say that they're at a particular income. But then when you look at the persons who are left behind, who may be of able body in terms of being able to manage themselves but still need care, but don't qualify under Cynical, for example, for their home care, because their home care means that you have to have real nursing type care, so you can't qualify for that assistance, and then you have to hire someone. They have to consider that those expenses come from that elderly woman, or most times it's going to be a woman left behind from her husband. And how much income do they think that that's going to take from them? And I think that needs to be considered. And the way to do that, I believe, is to have the seafarers look at collecting or canvassing and taking sort of a what do you call that? Like almost going up and doing a survey then and determining what are the actual needs of these persons that have left and what kind of expenses are they facing. Because if you got to pay a helper who stays in the home with that person but is not that health care worker and doesn't meet that threshold to have home care assistance from a Cynical indigent care plan, for example, they don't have any other income. And so these things need to be looked at, because just pulling the income from a person who's always had the care and has always had someone, even while the husband was alive, what do you think happens then? Where does the supplement come from? And I don't think that's carefully looked at. And there are a number of women that I know that this is affected, because I myself have done interviews, for example, in the BRAC with elderly women who, as a result of having that removed, find it financially difficult to maintain because their husband is no longer there. They have to upkeep their premises. They have to upkeep their house, which means that they're paying someone to come in and do all this stuff that someone else would have done that didn't cost them. So I think we need to really have some foresight when we look at some of this, and I think the Seafarers Association is in a position to do that, because there's a significant amount of men who are still there who know the contribution they make themselves within their families. So think about what would happen if they move and pass on, and their wives are left to take care of all of the things that they would have taken care of if they didn't cost them. So that's just something I think needs to be reconsidered, because it creates hardship. And if we sit down and believe we don't, then we really need to reflect differently. So that's just
well. If I could interject, the law is specific, but I'm sure that if a husband dies, the stipend is not taken away. I've never heard of anybody taking it. It's just a different paper that has to be signed by that widow.
It's based on income.
Is a new financial assessment done after the passing of the spouse?
You see, the law specifically says if the spouse or the widow is working, then they don't qualify. It's simple as that. But your suggestion is noted, and we'll take it into consideration, young lady.
And just working, it's based on their income, and their income could come from pension. So it's not on working. The majority of these women aren't working. They're already 70, 75 plus, 80 plus. They're not working. But it's something that needs to be looked into. I can assure you that it's the way I've told you.
Just before you go, caller, but that person may still have another source of income. They may be getting a pension themselves, or
correct.
Yeah, I see.
So let's just say that the threshold, as far as I know, is about 3,000, right? So you take 3,000.
Yeah, but
you're paying a helper that's $900 a month. You deduct that, then you have $2,000 left that they are to manage with, if they're to maintain themselves and do anything else that they have to deal with. And if we really think that we're getting by on that kind of money and those kind of things, then they fooled ourselves, because it doesn't work that easy.
Okay, got you. Thank
all right.
Thank you very much.
I can just say that I have never heard about the stipend or the ex gratia payment being taken away from anyone, even if they were getting a pension. Once they qualify in age, and the husband was getting it, then they'll get it. Because I know quite a few women who get it. I'm not saying that what she's saying isn't in the BRAC. Well, you see, the difference with us here is that we are the Seafarers Association. In Cayman BRAC, it's the Veterans and Seamen's Association. So a lot of the people who form that, they're all passed on. And all kind of things happen in Iraq that don't happen here.
So there's a different funding for
well, I don't think it's a different fund. I don't think it's a different funding when it comes to the ex gratia. But and the law should take into consideration everybody. But what she is saying, I've never heard of it. You know, I'm not contradicting her because she obviously did it in Iraq.
Did her research,
but I can check into it.
Yeah, I think it's something that needs to be looked into because, you know, if we find a situation where someone, as a result of a quirk in the law or something that wasn't anticipated, a scenario that wasn't anticipated at the time that the legislation was drafted, then while it is the law, laws can be changed.
Well, I've made a note of it, and I'm meeting with the minister on Friday morning at 9 o'clock, so that'll be one of the things I'll talk to him about.
Excellent. We're going to take a commercial break. We do have another caller on hold. We will take that caller as soon as we return, so please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Did you know that defective airbags can cause serious injury or even death if not repaired immediately? Right now, millions of vehicles around the world are under recall for faulty Takata airbags, and yours could be one of them. At Vant Motors, our priority is to make sure the Toyota or Ford you drive is safe. So we are offering customers a free, fast and easy airbag swap out if your vehicle was manufactured in 2016 or earlier. Find out if you need to have new airbags installed by emailing your Ford or Toyota vehicle's VIN or vehicle identification number to service@vantmotors.com or stop by Vant's Service Center or call us at 949-2245. Don't risk it. Get the airbags in your Toyota or Ford checked for free at Vant Motors on Walkers Road.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, K-Man.
I've been looking forward to this barbecue all week.
Don't forget to put out my potato salad now.
How could we ever forget that?
We got everything ready?
Just need the chicken and the ribs. Honey, you have those ready?
Here you go.
Why are they still frozen?
'Cause they were in the freezer.
With no deductible on your home for non-catastrophic events, we're like a barbecue where you didn't forget to defrost the meat.
Are we vegetarians now?
Just eat the rice.
CG Britke. Insurance, health, pensions, life. Good like that.
Census 2021. Come on, get ready. Census starting 10th of October 2021. Census information is secret. Census 2021. Census starting October 10th. 2021. Census 2021. Census. Census. Census 2021 Census. Everyone counts.
System one loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We have 3 callers on hold. We have one voice note as well that we're going to play. And in the studio with us, we have the chair of Celebrate Cayman, Mr. Alfonso Wright, Dr. Steve McFeel, and the president of the Cayman Islands Seafarers Association, Mr. Denston Tibbetts. We're talking about Seafarer Sea Sunday, but other topics have come up as they relate to our seafarers and the association. So we're going to take those callers. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning.
Morning, neighbor.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I can leave her bottle alone. Good morning, Dr. McField, Mr. Tibbetts, Mr. Alfonso, Mr. Host. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Charlie.
Based upon the last call, and I didn't get hear all of it, talking about funding the seafarers, I just want to say that a long time ago, going on in Canada was the Older Persons Association, whatever that's called, and they were advocating for their, I guess it would be national health insurance, to step up to the plate and be more helpful with the finances for the elderly. In this way, I found it quite interesting, and kind of like what I remember came on was they would have helpers and I guess minders go to work all week with their elderly, come back on the weekend, and they would go, the family would chip in, and they were asking for assistance from their health insurance for that, and it was a big thing. Now, that's been many, many moons ago, but I always thought that maybe we could look into something like that with our health insurance here. I don't think we have anything national more than Cineco, but it may be a way to take if it's possible, however the companies are structured and whatever the laws are, but that's something I think we can look into to see what we can get to help us along, because I know that costs are a big thing. But I'm not going to talk about my beloved seamen this morning too much, no more than to say that, tell them all I love them. And that maybe we could begin to work on that idea again called a holiday, not a year, not
Come back with that again?
Yes. It's not going to stop, and I did yet.
We hope you don't die right now in hell.
And I did yet. It's not going to stop because they deserve it. We can't talk about how we walk in their footsteps, how we sit down on their shoulders, how they lifted us up, and we cannot give them a measly holiday. I call it measly. And they not get that yet. But anyhow, this is what I want to see, and I'm talking to the new government, uniformed government. Gentlemen, I believe we talk about
ladies too.
See that? Look, I get up every morning with the seamen on my mind. Every morning. I can go to one with them in my bed, but I get up every morning with the seamen on my mind. I think a good thing to do is that every administration, and this would be by legislation, when they come to office from now until Christ comes for us on this earth, that the first year of that administration service to the country, the first year be dedicated as a year of the seamen that we would never forget. Because we're not writing our history, we're not writing it good. And even if we do write it, the pen and paper that we're using is not good enough for me. I don't know when in the next 10 years, how many they're going to forget, and how many, whatever it is that they did, they will erase it, and then it's gone. I want legislation, but it would be nice if we thought as much of them, the few that are still alive, to say, you know what, the first year of my administration will be a year dedicated to the seamen, not 2021. And I'm still wondering what happened in 2022. But I'm still working on their holiday because they deserve it. They deserve it. And I'm telling them one of these days how to get a real seaman's way, where the seamen is all that we consider on that stretch. Have a nice day, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's grab the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Jen.
Good morning.
From the first caller that was talking about the ex gratia payment, she's on target. I had a friend. The husband passed away. She got a letter from the office that's responsible, for these payments, to put in her application. She did. When she did that, they wrote and told her that they couldn't give her the pension because the ex gratia payment, because she was receiving a small pension. Anyway, I've assisted her and worked. I had to deal with it 3 times, and she really got her seaman's pension from her husband, because I made it very clear what the law says the widow of a seaman, and she is his widow. But it was difficult. They had actually taken it away from her just because she was getting a small pension, which was Social Security, and that was in U.S. dollars, and it was much less. So I'd just like to share that with you all.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for that. Next caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning.
Good morning.
I think what that caller previous to the one that just went off, ditto to a lot of what she was promoting there. But getting back to the seafarers, and talking about Sunday, Seafarer or Sea Sunday, many years ago that was every Sunday here in Cayman, basically. And I'm prone to think that it probably originated from that date that was mentioned there, 1897 or whatever, because every Sunday evening in all the churches there would be a prayer said for the seafarers, and usually a song dedicated, "Let the lower lights be burning," or "Send the gospel light," or something of that nature. But it was a regular thing every Sunday evening at every church and their Sunday services. Mm-hmm. And another little tidbit here, when we had, I guess, probably 10, 15, maybe 20, could even been more than that, Cayman schooners turtling out there on the Mesquite coast. Every Sunday, weather permitting, of course, they had a special place that they would all gather. All the ships that tie the vessels up one to the other with just the bumpers in between them, and they would hold services out there. Mm-hmm. Even I think some of the rangers on the various keys, if they were in position that they could get to a sort of central location, you call it, they would have Sunday services. And I know on a lot of the ships, my father told me that there was always a little group on the ship that would get together and have church on Sunday. Mm-hmm. So I think that the Sunday service is as far as Cayman goes back way back. It might not have been officially designated, but it was happening in the community.
What we plan with the Sea Sunday is that from here on in it'll be every year. As far as they're doing it every Sunday, well, that depends on the churches.
Yeah. But I was just making a point that.
Yeah, I understand, and that was good, but it's kind of hard to try and pin that on denominations right now, because there's so many other things to be thankful for.
Okay, caller, I want to thank you very much for that. I think one caller hung up but has rejoined us. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning. I'll say good morning to your guest there.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I want to call regarding the caller just before we had the last break about the seafarers getting benefits. I think we need to look into that, because I can speak for one. I have a family member who's a widow who is 7 years old, and she's basically only getting the assistance of the seafarers, which, thank God, it is a help, but it's still a small stipend. Because when she does that right now, she's in need of assistance to do some repairs on her house and everything. And like I say, she depended all on her husband prior to the passing. And as for the pension, and a lot of the widows in those days worked at the tourism, hospitality, the hotels and everything, and with the pension coming in very late, it gave them a bad investment into it, because they didn't have the time, because age and everything had retired them. So we want them to look in a lot. As I say, for the one I'm talking about, she applied to NAU for assistance, and they told her that she didn't qualify because she was getting assistance from the seafarers, what she was getting from her husband. Like you said, we appreciate everything that we get, but, for those, especially those widows that are left now without any assistance, from their husband, their beloved husbands and everything. So, like the caller said, we need to consider some other form of help or something that we can set up for those people, because it would be greatly appreciated.
Okay, thank you.
Let me just add that when that first caller made the point, I did say that I've taken note of it, and I'm seeing the minister at 9 o'clock on Friday morning, and I'll talk to him about it.
Okay.
That's the only thing I can do.
Excellent. We have to take a commercial break, but before we go there, Miss Susan, can we play that voice note as well? Because I think we're getting enough feedback on this particular issue that the Mr. Tibbetts now knows what it's about. He has given his commitment that he will speak to the minister about it as well. And if we need to look at the legislation to fine-tune it in whatever way is necessary, then we should do so. Can we hear that voice note before we go to our commercial break? Here we go.
Hi, good morning. I'm messaging about the lady that just called about the ex gratia being taken away from the surviving wives of the seamen. And I can tell you that is true. The gentleman is saying he's never heard of it, but that is true. It is being done, and I know quite a few women that it has been done to. So she's talking the truth. It is being done.
Commercial break, and we're going to commercial break, and we will give Mr. Tibbetts an opportunity to respond again as soon as we return. So please stay tuned. Okay.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, K-Man.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
Since March 2004, West Bay Pharmacy has kept their doors open to the local communities, even before, during, and after Hurricane Ivan. At West Bay Pharmacy, our staff provides so much more than pharmaceutical excellence. From the moment you walk through our doors to completing your cash out, our staff will have put your healthcare concerns at ease. We would like to take this moment to thank our loyal friends and customers. To us at West Bay Pharmacy, our patients are our primary concern. We provide thorough background checks and precise calculations to ensure your medical safety. Thank you for being a part of our family and for choosing West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
Celebrate Cayman is taking the Cayman Islands Seafarers Registry to local communities every Thursday from 4 to 7 p.m. until 5th August. Come out for a fun, family-friendly evening to learn about the Seafarers Registry, access complimentary health and wellness checks, share seafaring stories in the memory booth, enjoy seafaring-themed activities, socialize with seafarers, and more. The Celebrate Cayman Seafarers Registry Roadshow happening every Thursday from 4 to 7 p.m. until 5th August. Visit CelebrateCayman.ky for schedule and info.
The Cayman Islands Seafarers Registry, Celebrate Cayman, the Lions Club of Grand Cayman, and the Department of Children and Family Services will be visiting the Northside Civic Center on Thursday, the 9th of July.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. I want to give Mr. Tibbetts an opportunity to respond, but I understand that one caller has rejoined us. So let's hear from that caller first, and then Mr. Tibbetts give you an opportunity to respond to all of the callers. Caller, good morning. Welcome back.
Good morning. It was me, but I don't hear anybody else answer.
It's you. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I don't want the gentleman, except you, if I'll beat up on you anytime. You're my buddy. But I don't want the gentleman to think that I really beaten up on him, though they know I would, but I'm not really beaten up on him, but I don't get the opportunity much. But to talk about the Sunday thing and to say that it is, church driven, and which it would be, we still got a few gentlemen in the pulpit, you know. We still have and as I think about the persons that they are, I think they would be fully on board with anything that we would do to honor our gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's my classmate Stan, George Downer, Brother Alston, yes, there, but he's George Downer now. He's been up here for years, for decades. Mr. James Arch, Mr. Tommy Borden. That's the few that come to mind.
Pastor Rose.
Pastor Vincent Rose, too.
Yeah, okay, there we go. I think that come to mind. I'm sure, and I do believe the Ministers Association is chaired by A.K. Mannion. We can get something. We can get something for our gentlemen. If we can get that. Any other church that don't want to step on board, well, they know what, and I wouldn't even beat up on them. But I think that we can get our 5 going. It's going in the right way. We could only get 1. It would still be a great thing. So that, I think that's easy to get. And like I said, I don't want to beat up on nobody.
Okay.
Have a nice day, and I'm not calling on the back.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Mr. Tibbetts, over to you, sir.
Well, first of all, the voice note, if that person, she said that I was incorrect in saying that you cannot tell me that I have heard about something that I haven't heard about. I have not heard about anybody that happening to. If it happens, there has to be a reason.
Uh-huh.
And I made a commitment to talk to the minister about it on Friday. And that's the end of it.
I want to say, O.C., that the remarks made by Mr. Banks, I thought, was very enlightening and refreshing. To say that he remembers, and a lot of times when people like him say things like this, maybe yourself and Mr. Markfield will remember things as well that, oh yeah, that used to happen. But to say that it was a regular thing in the churches back in the day, I think is a very important part of our history.
Mm-hmm.
And where he went on to speak about the ships or the schooners getting together when they were out turtling on a Sunday to give thanks is also something that I believe that we shouldn't allow to be forgotten, as a part of our Cayman past. But these things come out for younger people like me when we have these kind of conversations.
Yes,
and this is how we preserve our history and make sure that it's passed on. But it won't happen if we don't have conversations, if we don't talk.
Yes.
While everything here today might not be enlightening historically, it is nevertheless good for us to talk and exchange ideas and so on. That is something now that will stick in my mind, and I can now see all those schooners out there attached to one another, having their little service, because I believe back in the day we had tons of lay preachers, and where that congregation and people congregated, somebody could speak a sermon, and that's just another part of our history. I think that is really refreshing.
And when you also tie that into the fact that we talk about our Christian heritage and our faith, it took a lot of faith for men to leave these shores and go out to sea, not having the type of equipment that we have today, where you had to rely on your own knowledge in terms of knowing when the hurricane season is. You had to be able to get the feel of the weather. It took a lot of faith for men to just venture out there. Otherwise, a lot would not have gone if they didn't have that belief that there's a protector above who's looking after them. Doc, I know I'm looking at your eyes there. I see you want to say something. Go ahead.
I had a court case one time, and I had a judge from England, and I was trying to address the jury, and I was telling them that they should use the good old Caymanian common sense to apply the good old common to the facts. And it just stopped me. No, Mr. McPhail, there's not a thing as good old common sense. I don't want to head out in my court this morning. He stopped me. And so I thought, how am I going to get around this now? You have to think quick on your feet.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, ladies, Madam Foreman, ladies and gentlemen, I says, many of us had fathers, grandfathers, uncles, and so forth, friends who couldn't read and write. Yet they were captains on ships. They could take a ship to Jamaica, to Honduras, to Nicaragua, even to Tampa, even to New Orleans, and they couldn't read and write. If they saw their name big as 8-foot letters, they couldn't read and write, but they could find their way around the world. And I say they had no GPS, they had no compass. Some of them used a stick and a North Star. And I says, you know how they did that? How they could take freight and passengers from one place to the other? Good old Cayman common sense. And the judge came down afterwards and he says, why do you insist on that? And I says, because that is how we existed. And so I am so fortunate to know that I have seen the schooners by the dozens out in Hawke's Bay and in West Bay at the regattas with my grandfather and the cat boats. I can envision, I can see that in my eyes today. I used to wear my grandfather's badge for the Cayman Islands Yacht Club. An awesome sight. And I know that when my grandmother and my mother and my uncles and them had to wait until the schooners came in from Honduras or Jamaica with the coconuts or the food to be able to eat. And I remember going down by the old fort, and Mr. Dr. Roy's brother, Mr. Maliko, Mr. Malik McTaggart would tell us we would be on the cannons on the old fort. The first person who can recognize what schooner comes around Northwest Point will get a sixpence. And we were there all day.
For that sixpence? For
that sixpence. And when we say, is the Goldfield? No. Is the Adams? No. Is the Rembrandt? No. Goldfield! And we would get it. We have lost that thing that made us different from other people. And that is what drives me as a person. That's why I'm different from most other people, I believe. And if I can see far, it's because I stand on the shoulder of giants. Those giants who sail the seas. They were awesome men. And when they say they were iron men and wooden ships, that is the truth. You know, people like Captain Benny Borden and all those great men, people like Captain Rail Borden, people like the Arches and all those people. And I could tell so many stories about them. I remember when I first saw the first knife, I didn't know what it was, but I know now it was a Swiss knife. And we say, geez, that Miss Elroy knife can sew. Because it had a little scissors on it and stuff. And so forth. And everybody walk around, Mr. Elroy, show it to me, show him his knife. I know it's a Swiss knife
Swiss
now.
Swiss armor knife, yeah.
Yeah, Swiss armor knife. You see, I also suffer the instances where seamen were put down. I remember when I wrote my first book. It's called the Cayman Islands, the Ideal Caribbean Financial Center. And I went away in 1995 with about 48 people in the contingency to sell Cayman offshore business with Governor Gore and lawyers and accountants and real estate people and bankers and stuff. And in my book, the preface says, Steve McPhail went to sea like everybody Caymanian. And some lawyers who came from they come from Oxford and Cambridge said, well, why you put that in your book? That's bloody, you were a bloody seaman? And I said, yes, my father, my grandfather, and everyone was seamen. And I'm proud of that. And when you look at my barrister's degree, you'll see that is embedded. I insisted that they put that in there. Steve McPhail, the grandson of Lemuel McPhail, seaman, blah, 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 blah.
Excellent. Top of the hour headline news. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
Government reported the results of 685 COVID-19 tests on Tuesday. One came back positive, a traveler in isolation. So far, more than 94,000 vaccines have been administered locally. Haiti's president has been killed in an attack on his home in the nation's capital, according to the country's interim prime minister. Claude Joseph said the president's home in Port-au-Prince was stormed by unidentified armed men around 1 a.m. The first lady was also injured in the attack. Mr. Joseph said, quote, all measures have been taken to guarantee the continuance of the state. And a huge container ship that blocked the Suez Canal in March, disrupting global trade, is finally leaving the waterway after Egypt signed a compensation deal with its owners and insurers. Witnesses say the Ever Given weighed anchor shortly after 11:30 a.m. local time and headed towards the Mediterranean, escorted by tugs. The ship has been impounded for 3 months near the canal city of Ismailia. Terms of the deals were not disclosed, but Egypt had demanded $550 million. Those are your headlines. I'm Carsley Fuller.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We're talking about our seafarers here in the Cayman Islands, specifically about Sea Sunday, the 11th of July, being celebrated here in the Cayman Islands for the first time. It is global recognition is given to the second Sunday in July, I think it is. So recognition is being given to that. Mr. Fonzo, I know that you want to go through a few more dates as well, but we have a caller. Let's grab the caller first. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Osby, and good morning to your panel.
Good morning. Good morning.
I had to wait long, but it doesn't matter. What I want to say to you guys, I noticed where you put up the street lights, where you had opening for the Seafarers Way. Can I suggest something to you guys? You all now have taken down all of the picket fence that they had. Why don't you all put cement there? Because this thing will never be taught in the school is our history. Why can't you all get Caymanian artists to do it and put it on those walls up there? Because when they put back in, instead of put back in board, they put back in cement, and you can write the history there. I noticed that you have enough panels there that you can put in the history of the market. You can put in the history of the boat. You can do a lot of things up there that when the tourists come here, they can also read it and they wouldn't be jaywalking. Tell the history there on walls. We have one in West Bay on Miramala Drive too. Because this thing not going to be taught in school. So I would suggest to you guys now that you all have an opportunity, please tell the history there. And while Steve was alive, don't wait till he died to tell it. A dead man tell no tales. And he should be in charge when that wall will be painted. Please do it now. I will help on it with the dresses as much as I can because we also need them to go there too. But we have to get them made. But please put the history there, Dr. Steve, for my sake, your sake, and your grandchildren and our grandchildren. Because if you don't do it now and you don't put it there, it's not going to get in school. At least they can go there for a week and have something to read.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for that, Mr. Vance. You want to respond?
Well, I can't answer that because that's a different department from where I am, and the walls that are there now, that is something that is controlled by the Port Authority. And those picket fences that are there are built in a way that they can come out during hurricane season and so on, that they're not damaged. Because remember, we used to have a tremendous amount of damage out there every nor'wester season, not just hurricane season. But yeah, the idea is a good one. It'll have to be taken up in a different area. But I'll do my best to have it ventilated.
Well, I had a suggestion that I spoke to. I mentioned to some people at the renaming, and that is that all of those business on the waterfront there, the least that they could do is that if some sort of a plaque was developed detailing the history of the waterfront, and they should the least they could do is display that in their stores at the entrance or whatever, so that the tourists can read about it. It won't cost them anything. It may attract a little bit more traffic, towards those stores, but they should all voluntarily put that up there. We do have a caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. This is Minister Brian.
Good morning, Minister.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I just want to say amazing show as usual, and to the caller who was just speaking about those fences there on the Port Authority. Her comments have been noted in my brain, and I will definitely speak to the Port Director in respect to that, as it falls under my responsibility. It's a wonderful idea, and we have to be as creative and as culturally focused as we can in respect to displaying what Cayman is about from a tourism perspective and as well as a cultural perspective. So, good idea. I'll talk to the director about it.
Thank you.
I was calling in mainly to say, for one, to Mr. Alfonso Wright, thank you for your continued hard work in celebrating everything that we are, Cayman. He's such a main person in respect to that and does an amazing job. But also to say that this event that is happening on Sunday is such a wonderful idea. As many of you may remember, I did the Hogstye Bay Day event, and it was quite similar to this and the ideas behind it about celebrating our culture, our heritage, and everything else. And I just recalled the other day when we were renaming the road and talking about International Seafarers Day, what a great opportunity to combine both kind of events and celebrations at a certain time of the year, where we can take the whole of the waterfront and put that together, where we can join forces, so to speak, and it could be an annual event. So that was the vision for myself in respect going forward with Hogstye Bay Day. So I'm excited to see what happens on Sunday, and I will definitely come into Mr. Alfonso about trying to see if there's a potential merger in respect to this. And give all the support, because it's such an amazing opportunity to create another event nationally for us to remember who we are and what we're about.
Okay, sir. I am looking forward to that conversation. Yeah, we touched on it recently after the last after the renaming event, and yeah, I do think that there's a lot of potential out there, sir. And yeah, let's talk.
Well, I hope that the public may have some sort of input in respect to that, because I know OC, I think you were there and came by. I'm not sure who else came by on Hogstye Bay Day when we had the event, but many people who've experienced it, really enjoyed it. See if the opportunity to celebrate our seafarers through that event, but at the same time remembering what Hogstye Bay was all about and the waterfront in its totality. I would love to hear the public's views on that as we listen to the program. At the same time, you reminding everybody about Sunday's event. Anyway, I'll leave you guys there. Thank you so much.
Mr. Minister, before you go, I just want to remind you, I haven't spoken about it yet, but our next general meeting at the Seafarers on the 20th of this month is dedicated total to the children of seafarers, and I know you're a member of that group, so please attend.
Yes, I'm reminding everybody that who are seafarers and children of seafarers to become members. That's the way you keep the membership alive and the association alive. So I agree with you. I think it's time for me to sign up, become a member, and get my shirt in honor of my grandfather, Callan Rich, Captain Callan Rich. All right, folks.
Mr. Minister, before you go, for many years now, I have had a vision. We talk about the seafarers and seafaring, and yet we do not have any we don't have many symbols left except the Catboat Club and a few catboats. I was thinking, after having a meeting several years ago at Mr. Bernard Butler's house, with a lot of us got together, and I was thinking about a Goldfield 2 Foundation. Goldfield was the lifeline and the fastest schooner around, I think, in the Caribbean. We try to bring her back from where she was in Seattle. And with all the wrangling and the confusion, she is now at the bottom of the North Sound and rotted. I was thinking about a Goldfield 2 Foundation, raise money to build or to buy another schooner and call it the Goldfield. I spoke to several people here from people in the Arches family, and they say it was possible to build it. And they were telling me how much they think it would cost. And at the time that I was talking about that with them, Mr. Ira Walton was alive, and he said he would rig it. He was one of the riggers. He said he would rig it. We would have to do that. If I had the money, I would go out. I wouldn't be calling you, or I wouldn't be asking the government. I would go out and do it myself and dedicate it to the Cayman Islands, and also as a training ship for young people. Not as a turtling ship, but as a sailing yacht where young boys and girls could live aboard and could travel around the Caribbean on the symbol of our history, of our seafaring days and our history. And I'll say directly, succinctly what I want to say. If we can find money to give investors to come in to build condominiums to make a lot of money, I'm sure we could find $2 or $3 million that we could put aside, that we could get a ship like that, and that we could see how sea cadets, boys and girls, and they could train, and it could be a disciplinary place for them, where the old sea captains could teach them, like Captain Paul and all of those, how to keep them navigation and keep them and keep the seamanship alive. And not just because of seamen, but the discipline that they would have and sailing around the Caribbean with their uniforms and sailing in the different ports of call. I believe that is something that we could add on to the Seaman's Park, that could be part of our lifeblood, because remember, it was the ships, the wooden ships, that brought us life, that brought us food, that brought us clothes, that brought us the goods from Bellas Hess and Sayers Roebuck and all of those mail order places. It was the ships that brought us there, that brought your great grandfather, that brought my grandfather, and all of those people. It was those men, and we don't even have the symbol of one of them. They have them all over. They have those tall sailing ships all over the world. They have them in each country. They have them in Canada. They have them all over. It's a symbol of where they come from.
Okay.
What do you think about that? I just throw that into your lap.
Well, I appreciate that. I'll catch it for you. I firstly want to say that it's a wonderful idea. It's something that will continue our culture and our heritage on a large scale. But as you can imagine, anything that is financially related, I would have to go to my colleagues and get the approval of the government. So I can't give that commitment publicly, but it's something definitely worth investigating, and I'll definitely talk to the Minister of Culture, who is competent enough to examine whether this is something we can find beneficial and cost-worthy. I can already see the cadets, like you've said, and potentially the Coast Guard being in charge of something of way of remembering what we were about on our seas, as well as training young Caymanians to remember the sea, particularly when it's related to some studies I've recently found that there's so many Caymanians who are no longer in tourism-related water sports things, and it's because we're going away from our cultural norms of being water men and women. So I see many, many benefits, but obviously as a minister, I have to take the responsibility of minding the cost associated with it, but it's something I promise you I'll speak to the rest of the government and the minister responsible, so be responsible, and that's the Honourable Bernie Bush, to see whether it's something he would entertain and support and get the necessary funding for. But I hear that you mentioned my granduncle, Mr. Ira Walton, in there, and I remember as a kid helping him sand the little small model ships that he used to make. If you recall, there was one right there in Foster's, the old Foster's model that used to be out front, and I remember as a kid having to help him sand the mahogany when he was building that when I was a little child. So there's a lot of heritage there and memories for me as well, and I think there's much, much benefit so we don't forget who we are. But obviously we have to take consideration the cost implications in a time when money is limited. So, but I would promise you to make sure that everybody else has that discussion and see if we can entertain it, okay?
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Have a lovely
Minister,
day.
thank you very much. We have to
Okay,
take
sir.
a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. The conversation will continue after this short commercial break.
When I was growing up in Cayman, Sundays was always a big day for our family. Everyone would go to Granny's house for Sunday dinner after church. Even today, I can still smell the aroma of all the delicious food we used to eat, especially the hot, fresh baked bread smothered in butter, topped off with our favorite pan cheese. These days, I don't have enough time to cook and bake, but I do my best to carry on the Sunday tradition of family meals. And being able to get hot, fresh bread with no preservatives or additives from Caribbean Bakery is a big help for me. Shh, don't tell them, they still think I baked it. Caribbean Bakery, now delivering every Sunday to McGrath's grocery store in Eastern Avenue and Marina Drive. Caribbean Bakery, made Cayman fresh.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom-designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
Did you know that defective airbags can cause serious injury or even death if not repaired immediately? Right now, millions of vehicles around the world are under recall for faulty Takata airbags, and yours could be one of them. At Vant Motors, our priority is to make sure the Toyota or Ford you drive is safe. So we are offering customers a free, fast, and easy airbag swap out if your vehicle was manufactured in 2016 or earlier. Find out if you need to have new airbags installed by emailing your Ford or Toyota vehicle's VIN or vehicle identification number to service@vantmotors.com or stop by Vamp's Service Center or call us at 949-2245. Don't risk it. Get the airbags in your Toyota or Ford checked for free at Vant Motors on Walkers Road.
The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter will be taking appointments July 12th through 23rd at his Crew Road Clinic. Appointment slots are limited, whether you're seeking advanced skincare, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles. Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email drportercayman@gmail.com or call 946-9020 to book your appointment today. That is 946-9020.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Orit Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Mr. Alfonso Wright, Dr. Steve McField, and the president of the Seafarers Association, Mr. Denston Tibbetts. Mr. Fonzo, I know that there are particular dates and events that you want to talk about as well, so we're going to bring the mic over to you.
Thank you, OC. We always come here for a specific reason, but when we talk about seafarers, we always get sidetracked. There's so many issues that people want to talk about. So maybe this is something you need to do. You need to dedicate one show per week to seafarers. Just saying.
Yep.
That follows what Dr. McField says.
Exactly. Okay, so the road show to get seafarers registered happens in Northside tomorrow evening. It's from 4 to 7, and it's at the Northside Civic Center. We're encouraging everybody to come out. It just don't have to be seafarers, but friends and relatives of seafarers. Children can come out. We have a few activities for children as well. But you can come and have a PSA done. You can come and have your sugar tested. You can have your eyes tested. The Department of Children and Family Services will be there speaking about their programs. I want to say this, OC, while we had the discussion earlier about ex gratia payments and so on. We were working with Synico then they will be at the Kiwan-Brack event next week because we go to Kiwan-Brack on the 15th. and Cineco will be there to talk about some of these same things that we've been having. We reached out to them, but they're also moving offices and so on right now and finding it a bit busy to accommodate doing this with us every Thursday. But they will be participating in the Kieran Brack event, which happens on the 15th of July, Thursday again, 4 to 7 at the Veterans and Seamen Society Hall. On the 22nd of July, we're in Bordentown. That is at the Church of God Chapel Church Hall. Same time, all 4 to 7. We'll be in West Bay at Cayman Turtle Center on Thursday the 29th of July. And in Georgetown, where we'll be at Constitution Hall on Thursday, August the 5th. So, we're there for 3 hours, but we want people to understand that, you can come in at any time. You can come in and do and walk the place in half hour, 45 minutes, and see everything that needs to be seen. But we're also encouraging seafarers to come out, and those who are willing to sit and have a little chat with us, and we're recording some of their sea stories.
I think, if I could interject,
Sure.
There's a young lady, I think her surname is Powell, talking about elderly people, how they can avoid being mistreated and all that.
That's one of the programs that the Department of Children and Family Services will be talking about, elderly abuse.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, they'll be there to discuss those things. So if somebody wants to come in and even want a private moment to talk with some of those people, that is possible. So Ms. Lloyd Kellerman is heading that up and is supporting us in that area. So tomorrow evening, Northside Civic Center, 4 to 7. Kieran Brack, Veterans and Seamen Society Hall, Thursday, 15th of July, Bordentown, Church of God Chapel Church Hall, Thursday, July 22nd, West Bay, Cayman Turtle Center, Thursday, 29th of July, Georgetown, Constitution Hall, Thursday, 5th of August.
Okay. Mr. Tibbetts, one of our listeners has sent an email and said, can you ask Mr. Tibbetts what is the cost of the luncheon? They didn't hear it earlier. I know you did mention it. I've sent the email, the response to them, but for the benefit of all those persons who may just be joining us, can we give details again about the luncheon at the Lobster Pot on Sunday? Start with the date, the venue, and cost.
The venue is Lobster Pot. The date is Sunday the 11th, and the cost is $30 per person.
Okay, and you have seating maximum 100 and...
they can accommodate 135, and so far we have 45 people guaranteed to come, so people can just call the number that Alfonso gave earlier.
949-2736.
Okay, and what other activities they will be able to observe or participate in there while there?
Well, you can sit on the patio and watch the boys and girls do their thing with the Catboat Club. Mm-hmm. They're going to have a regatta, and then after that, if you want, you can go with them on a catboat cruise.
Oh, okay.
Briefly,
So bring your sea legs and your
yes,
and your sea attire.
When you say the boys and girls, is this the boys to men thing?
I think it's the boys to men. It's only boys.
That will be participating here as well. There's a group that's working with the St. Vincent de Paul people that will be in attendance there as well. But it's a good family event, family time.
Yeah, and the governor and some of the ministers will be there.
You just heard Minister Brian said he plans to be there, and I think a lot of them will. I want to say this, OC, that this being the first time we didn't get out of the gates very early, to start spreading the word. So bear with us. This will be the first outing, and hopefully it's something that we'll be able to organize every year now. But we hope that the St. Vincent de Paul people will be the organizers of the event.
Okay.
Since it's celebrating seafarers and praying for them, I somehow think that it should be organized outside with their assistance, of course.
Yes.
But I think that the impetus should come from another organization outside, since we're celebrating them.
Yes.
That they shouldn't be organizing events to celebrate themselves, kind of thing.
You're talking about seafarers?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Well, I think it's only taken 111 years to reach us, so let's hope that it'll go on for another 111 years every year. And St. Peter and Paul, the Society of St. Peter and Paul, they're only 2 years old here, but they were inaugurated in Italy many moons ago. But they've only been organized here for the last 2 years, so this is part of their contribution.
Okay. And I know that you didn't necessarily come here to talk about this, but we continue to get WhatsApp messages in relation to the ex gratia payments that are being made. This person has sent in and said, may I ask, where do a seafarer go when, if the person has no children, he and his wife are at an age now where they can't afford a helper, but if he decided that he wanted to live in his wife's country of birth, he would do that, but not necessarily get his pension because he went to live somewhere else comfortable, with his spouse. So it seems what's coming into question really is whether or not we need to look at the law. We need to look at the regulations that are in place and see whether or not there are unintended consequences to the way that it is being it was legislated and the way it's being administered, and maybe at that point in time those things that were taken into consideration may not be as relevant as they are today.
Well, if I could interject,
sure.
The government had a problem many years ago. People did that, and the system was abused, so that is why they stopped it and changed the laws.
Right.
So it's something that I made a note of it. I can also talk to the minister about it.
Okay. And this one here, and I think this one needs to be discussed as well, says, aren't families the first ones to be responsible for their own elderly? Sadly, people are neglected by their own, thus forcing them to lean on the government. Shame, shame. Those that have no one need the community and the government, but family must step up to the plate as well. And that is true to a certain extent.
That is true to a certain extent. But if we can keep refugees from other countries for 3 and 5 and a whole year paying for them and paying security guards to keep them, and why can't we maintain our own people? It seems to me that if you are a seaman and if you put out the required time, 3 years or 4 years or what the criteria is, it's cement that gratuitous payment, and it shouldn't matter where you live. And in fact, the government should be happy that if you can find a place where you can live off it really better than you can live in Cayman, they should actually give it to you and send it to you. I think that law should be changed, and I think this is too onerous, and it's actually discriminatory because it tells you that you can't travel from your country to live in another country where you can live as better off as well, and better. The standard of living is no high. I think it's just not right.
Okay, and the other question is, have we crunched the numbers? Because it would appear to me that the numbers will, at some point in time, if it hasn't already done so, start to decline. So the commitment that the government may have in terms of the number of persons that they have to support gets smaller and smaller because our seafaring population is not growing, and because of decline in health and
unfortunately,
and stuff like that, those numbers may be going down. So
they're supposed to be going down, but
at the end of the day, the government can look and see 50 years down the line where we're going to be, what we're going to need. That's why you have, people who deal with demographics and actuaries and stuff like that. But it is not, like Dr. Markfield said earlier, it is not a huge burden on the government of the Cayman Islands as well. But we have to go to a commercial break. When we come back, we can continue on this discussion as well. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
When I was growing up in Cayman, Sundays was always a big day for our family. Everyone would go to Granny's house for Sunday dinner after church. Even today, I can still smell the aroma of all the delicious food we used to eat, especially the hot, fresh baked bread smothered in butter, topped off with our favorite pan cheese. These days, I don't have enough time to cook and bake, but I do my best to carry on the Sunday tradition of family meals, and being able to get hot, fresh bread with no preservatives or additives from Caribbean Bakery is a big help for me. Shh, don't tell them, they still think I baked it. Caribbean Bakery, now delivering every Sunday to McGrath's grocery store in Eastern Avenue and Marina Drive. Caribbean Bakery, made Cayman fresh.
Health City is now open at Camana Bay, offering a wide range of specialties at our state-of-the-art Camana Bay Clinic. We are here to help you save time and feel better. We are open weekdays, weekends, and evenings for your convenience and are dedicated to reducing your wait time while improving your health. Friendly staff, expert care, lab services, and diagnostics in one convenient location from the hospital you know and trust. Health City at Camana Bay, within your reach.
Did you know that defective airbags can cause serious injury or even death if not repaired immediately? Right now, millions of vehicles around the world are under recall for faulty Takata airbags, and yours could be one of them. At Vant Motors, our priority is to make sure the Toyota or Ford you drive is safe. So we are offering customers a free, fast, and easy airbag swap out if your vehicle was manufactured in 2016 or earlier. Find out if you need to have new airbags installed by emailing your Ford or Toyota vehicle's VIN or vehicle identification number to service@vantmotors.com or stop by Vamp's Service Center or call us at 949-2245. Don't risk it. Get the airbags in your Toyota or Ford checked for free at Vant Motors on Walkers Road.
Did you know about UCCI's Back to Uni giveaway? Up to $2,000 in prizes are being given away.
Serious? How can I win?
Easy. Just register early for fall classes and you'll be entered to win in one of UCCI's weekly giveaways. Maybe you'll get lucky and win one of the top 3 prizes, your choice of an iPad or a laptop computer.
Cool. I'm going online to register now.
Students can register online, make an in-person appointment, or drop in at UCCI. Visit ucci.edu.ky for more information on UCCI's Back to Uni giveaway.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, President of the Cayman Islands Seafarers Association, Mr. Denston Tibbetts, Dr. Steve Macfield, and the Chairman of Celebrate Cayman, Mr. Alfonso Wright. We do have a caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Connor and your guest.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, good morning.
Oh, I'm still hanging in, thankful. But I want to...
Captain Paul, before you go any further, we're discussing your age. Is it appropriate that you tell us your age, sir?
Oh, yes, 90 and a half.
Wow.
90 and a half, okay.
Wow. And still going strong.
Oh, yeah, I was cutting out some trees yesterday.
Oh, yeah, you're building a boat or what?
No, I'm prepared for the hurricane. I'm trimming up about, cutting out the trees though, so I don't come down somebody else's property.
Wow.
All right.
Amazing.
Yeah, what I want to talk to you about is give you a little bit of history about the sailing vessel and especially the gold field.
Mm-hmm.
He's still alive now, Mr. Walsham Conley. When he was president of the Cayman Seafarers Association, we tried, when the gold field was submerged up in the Sound. We tried to get the foundation to donate, allow us to take her up and repair her, and they refused. The board refused to do it. I don't believe that Mr. President Walsham went to the receiver Rex and asked, because he could have grant that permission because she was a wreck.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to take her up, repair her, and make her into a... And you don't have to take my Ashton, the Oscar. I think he's still here in Cayman. He was in the office. He worked on that. And we also found the Adams up in Suriname. And we tried to get her because the seafarers were very active then. And I'm sorry, I don't mean any derogatory to say they're not active now, but we didn't have any help because our history, we know the importance of that, but the powers that be would not help us to get us. Also, I went to see in 1983 to Mexico to see the gold, inspect the gold field with Mr. Heber Arch. He's alive. He can confirm what I'm saying now. I came back. I made a report to them, and they ignored it. Because the gold field could have been here. I wouldn't say in good shape, but she would have been. Because I got pictures. I have pictures of her.
So do I.
And the captain, which told me, and I interviewed him, that he had received half of the money for her, but they told him they did not have the other half, and he said, "Why should I take her to try to get her there if they don't have the money for me?" If they had told him that his money was waiting here and came on the ship, the vessel would have been here. I made that report, but of course I was ignored as usual. But I could talk so much more about it, but that is a little bit of the history. What happened to the gold? She could have been preserved because the seafarers wanted to do so under the leadership of Mr. Walsham Conway.
Wow.
And Captain Paul, it's so sad that neither one of the Cornwall Webster Cornwall Water ships were saved. The Goldfield, the Klondike, and the Gold Medal, all three of them are gone. And we don't. I don't think even people have pictures of the Klondike and the Gold Medal. I don't. I tried to find pictures of them in the archives, but I couldn't find any of them. The only pictures that survive is the Goldfield.
Yeah, but the Gold Medal, I can't remember. But my uncle Carl Bush was captain of her when she was lost in I think it was 32.
Hurricane.
Hurricane there. He tried to get her in the Sound, but it was too bad. He couldn't make it. He couldn't make it, so he had to anchor back into. But that is the story of the Goldfield. I'm not going to hold you up. But there's so
No, that's the Captain Paul. Just stay there for a little bit longer. What is your memory of the Western Union?
No, I don't know anything about her.
Oh, okay.
I don't know anything.
What about the Adams, Captain Paul? Is she still in Suriname?
No. I think she rotten down up there in Suriname.
Oh, okay.
I think that was the last place that we knew about her because anyhow, that's another story.
Incidentally, President Walsham, I've taken it on myself to go visit him, and he's not doing so well, but we repaired his roof and we're getting different supplies for him, so he's being well taken care of by his wife and the seafarers.
Yeah, but I'm so glad to hear that because I haven't heard anything about him for years because,
he's not doing so well because he had a stroke, but the wife is there and we assist wherever we can.
Well, that's good. Very good. I'm sorry. God, because people, he kept that organization together for years, you know, because nobody...
Yeah, no, I know the history, yeah.
You know the history, okay. All right, then I won't keep you up any longer, but so...
Thank you so much for your contribution, sir.
That's a little bit what I can say.
Thank you very much, Captain Paul. Thank you very much. Okay, gentlemen, we still have about 5 minutes before we go to our last break. I want to give you an opportunity to cover all of the details for this week and further on, if you want to, as well, the information that you want to get out there to our audience.
If I could jump in quickly,
Sure.
the cultural afternoon on Sunday at the Lobster Pot and Catboat Club, we need people to know that the event is a free event.
Mhm,
It's only if
mhm.
you're attending the lunch that you pay the $30.
Yes.
And folk singers are also going to be performing
the Cayman folk singers.
Down there as well. And the catboat rides and all those things are free. So it could well be a nice little pleasant Sunday afternoon with a lot of fun and a lot of old Cayman tradition brought back into the fray.
And we know that in Cayman everyone drives. So they're going to come with their vehicles, automobiles. Any special parking for
there
them?
No special parking, but we have made a note of the fact that while we don't have specific permission for this, but it's a Sunday and the Kirk Market parking lot will be virtually unused. We ask that people consider that, but I think there was an effort to reach out to Kirk's to just get permission. But they'll be parking nearby at some of the other locations as well. But the Kirk parking lot is not very far away.
Exactly. Yep. Mr. Tibbetts, over to you.
Well, going on a little further on in the month, our next general meeting is on the 20th of this month, and it's going to be solely dedicated to the children of seafarers. So whoever we have, I think right now we have something like 45 members. We changed it because Dr. Mark Field will know that we made a resolution and changed it so that children of seafarers could become members, because we realized that sooner or later we're going to run out of seafarers because we're all getting older. But this meeting is going to be dedicated solely to those children, and they're going to be introduced so that everybody can know about them and their parents and all that. So I'm inviting all of the children of seafarers, the members, to please be at that meeting, 7:30 on the 20th.
Okay.
And
Seafarers Hall.
At Seafarers Hall. I trust you'll be there.
Yep, definitely.
He's
I
a child of seafarers.
made a note on my calendar.
He's a child of a seafarer.
And I did my little 9 months out there as well.
Yeah. Well, Alfonso will be there.
Yeah. And anything about the building itself? Any plans on expansion? I know that at one point in time there was some talk about expanding the hall. The hall. Any plans for that?
Not right now.
Okay.
What we have done in the last 2 years is I got permission from Mr. Danny Soto for the property in front, across the street from the seafarers.
Okay.
And we filled that, and there's a lot of parking there now, so we shouldn't have any problem with parking.
Okay. Do we need a pedestrian crosswalk to be erected there, though?
No, I don't think it's that busy. No. This is across the street on Victory Avenue.
Not across the not across the main road. Okay, good. Got you. Well, that's good. Yeah, excellent. Okay, let's take our last commercial break, and we summarize everything, highlight all of the important dates, all of the important events. But the one that we want people to focus on is this coming Sunday, the 11th of July, and it's called Sea Sunday. Those of you who normally would participate and head out to some Sunday brunch, if you have a connection with seafarers, this is a good opportunity for you to support them. And if you don't have one, it's still a good opportunity to support, because believe you me, that's old people saying, to believe you me, you may not think that you have a connection as far as seafarers are concerned. But the mere fact that you're here now and you're able to afford and to enjoy brunch, that in itself makes you and connects you with seafaring in the Cayman Islands, because that is our history. That is a part of us. Let's take a commercial break. When we return, we will have a wrap-up, so please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Health City is now open at Camana Bay, offering a wide range of specialties at our state-of-the-art Camana Bay Clinic. We are here to help you save time and feel better. We are open weekdays, weekends, and evenings for your convenience and are dedicated to reducing your wait time while improving your health. Friendly staff, expert care, lab services, and diagnostics in one convenient location from the hospital you know and trust. Health City at Camana Bay, within your reach.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
Are you feeling sick but don't feel ill enough to go to the doctor? Ask your pharmacist for advice. Here at West Bay Pharmacy, our pharmacists have been trained to offer helpful, easy-to-understand advice on the treatment of everyday minor ailments for yourself and all the family. Anything from headaches, cough, and sore throat to cold sores, our pharmacists will know when medical help is needed and will not hesitate to refer you to your doctor if your symptoms demand it. Like doctors, our pharmacists have a professional code, which means all personal information you give them will be treated in the strictest confidence. Visit us today at West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
We are in the hurricane season, and knowing what to do after a hurricane can be as important as preparing for the storm. After the passage of a hurricane, seek medical attention if it is needed at hospitals and clinics for those persons who are injured. Do not touch power lines and cables that are down. They may be active. Report them to 911 or the utilities emergency hotlines. Broken tree limbs should be removed from around homes or buildings if possible. This hurricane information has been brought to you by Breeze FM and Radio Cayman.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matter. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're on the last leg of the show this morning. Miss Susan, unless it's something urgent, we're going to cut the phone lines off for now because we want to give everyone an opportunity. But more importantly, we want to give the details out in relation to Sea Sunday that is taking place this coming Sunday, the 11th. Now, I'm going to say this, and people don't take it in the wrong sense, but we know in Cayman we always, I shouldn't say always, we normally wait until the last second to decide. We normally wait until the last second to do what is necessary. What we're trying to avoid is anyone showing up at the last minute and they're not being able to be accommodated at the lobster pot because there is limited seating. 135 persons can be accommodated. It's only $30 per person for the, we call it a luncheon.
The luncheon.
A luncheon there. And there are other activities as well. But we know that you love to support your Seafarers Association, and we know that after this show today that people are going to be clamoring and going to want to be booking for it. So we're going to give out the numbers, the details again, but if they have any additional questions also, Mr. Tibbetts, we want to give the details as far as the Seafarers Association is concerned so that you can be contacted there as well. Gentlemen, go right ahead.
Go ahead, Fonzo.
Well, okay, so it's a lobster pot. It starts with 11:30 service at the St. Ignatius Catholic Church. 1 o'clock lunch at the lobster pot, $30 per person. And you can call 949-2736 to make your reservation.
Okay.
And also, if you want further information, just call the Seafarers office, 947-7378, or my personal phone number is 916-3334. So that's 947-7378 for the Seafarers Hall, and my number is 916-3334.
Okay. And the district visits, Mr. Fonzo?
Yeah, we'll be this Thursday, that's tomorrow. We'll be at the Credoc Banks Civic Center in Northside from 4 to 7. On the 15th of July, we're at the Seamen's and the Veterans and Seamen's Society Hall in Cayman Brac.
Mm-hmm.
On the 22nd, is that right? We're going to be in Bordentown at the Chapel Church Hall. And on the 29th, we're going to be in West Bay at the Turtle Center. And on August 5th, we'll be in Georgetown at Constitution Hall.
Okay.
All the times are 4 to 7.
All the times are 4 to 7. And always a Thursday. Every Thursday of the next 5 weeks, 4 to 7.
Okay. And your next...
And the next general meeting is the 20th of this month. And it's going to be dedicated solely to children of seafarers.
Okay. I can come then.
That's right.
Yes. You are a member.
Yes. Okay, Mr. Funds, I want to switch gears for a second and go back to Seafarers Way. And we know now that from the Boilers Road to Mary Street. And, many people have advocated that it should really go all the way down to Whitehall.
The Whitehall Bay.
I even though I cross at least 3 days a week, 3 mornings, sometimes it's dark when I'm crossing there, but I wanted to confirm myself that the breakwater, where in front of Mr. Burke LaBush's theater, was still there, and it is still there. We know that the breakwater out in Hawkesbury Bay, that has been redesigned removed and redesigned in many ways. What can we do? I don't know who owns the property, whether or not at the seawall, because right immediately after the seawall is the bay there. So there is no land there to be contested. Whether or not we can preserve the break wall there. Because, again, not so much as the one on Hawkesbury Bay, but the breakwater there, people would sit on it at nights when they're waiting for the Bush's Theatre to open. And I'm using the colloquial term now, Bush's Theatre to open.
And after the movies were over, that's where people
sat there as well. That's, again, a part of our heritage. But we have a tendency to bulldoze, what made us what we are today. We bulldoze the fort. That was knocked down, so that is no longer there. We changed the seawall on the waterfront, Hawkesbury Bay. I asked you the other day the sundial that was there.
Yeah, what happened
to that? And you told me, where that is.
Yeah, it's in storage at the museum.
Yeah, but how can we go about preserving these edifices the few that we have left?
Well, see, this is how it begins. We have the conversation about it. I am happy to take the conversation forward. People ask me things. Our remit is small, but people do come to us for a lot of things, and we pass information up. And my boss is Mrs. Samuel Rose, who is steeped in Cayman culture and loves his country and all the things that are dear to us. And so he is excited about new ideas and stuff coming forward as well. And granted, there's only so much that we can do, and some of these things can be done by other groupings. But you mentioned it to me. I'm going to look into it. I promise you that. I had a call on Tuesday. Somebody asked me, "Can you tell us when we started celebrating July 4th as Constitution Day?" And I asked around a few people, and nobody could really get it exactly the people couldn't remember, of course. And so you might take for granted that it should happen the next year, but life isn't necessarily like that. Sometimes it takes a while before you actually realize that this is an important holiday. This is an important day for us. We need to celebrate this by holiday. Anyway, I found the motion that was made on the 27th of June, 1960, that established the July 4th as a holiday from 1960, from the year right after 1959.
Okay. Now, the Constitutional Commission would be interested in that as well. I'm sure that Mr. Von
I have the actual
you know,
document
yes.
signed by Mr. Jack Rose.
Okay,
Yeah.
Excellent.
So when things like this happen, we just take it forward.
Yes.
So you made the suggestion. I will see what I can find out, and I get back to you. I promise you that.
Okay.
Another thing I would like to ask you is what happened to the lighthouse with all the names, with all the men's names on the sides? So that was at the place now called Royal Water Terminal.
That is still there.
The lighthouse is still there.
Well, the monument is still there. I'm not sure about the lighthouse. The monument is still there.
I think the lighthouse is on top of
It's
the
on top of it. I
top
can't.
of the monument,
Yeah.
yes.
But it's tilted.
Okay.
Because of weather. And someone told me, I don't know if it's true, that they're afraid to tilt it back the other way because it might break off. I don't know how true that is.
Oh, I need to double check. I'm not sure that the lighthouse is still on top of that.
I think it is, but
I know the monument is there.
yeah, they call it a cenotaph.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to give both you gentlemen an opportunity for some closing comments as well, starting with you, President Tibbetts.
Well, I'd just like to thank you so much for having us on this morning.
Kept my promise, huh?
Yes. I hope you keep your promise on the 20th. And just to say that this Sunday is Sea Sunday, and we're hoping that we know it'll continue every year after this. Thank God. And I'm inviting all the people who can make it. It's only $30 per person for the lunch, and the boys to men will be downstairs. A funny thing, they told me that the boys couldn't have lunch with us because they can't eat before they go on the cat boats. Did you hear that from them?
I heard that at the same
meeting that we were
meeting. Yeah, well, I remember that as a kid when we would go to picnics, especially. They didn't want you to eat food and then go swimming.
Yeah,
they tell you
but
that.
anyway,
so
we can have our lunch on the patio there and watch the boys to men do their thing with the cat boats, and the governor will be there. And unfortunately, you might have to put up with me some brief remarks from me and a prayer. But please come out and support us. Thank you very much again.
Okay, Mr. Fonzo, over to you.
Yeah, well, tomorrow, Thursday, Northside, 4 to 7. Please, on Northsiders, come out, support us, come see what's happening, come ask your questions, come share your stories, come get some health checks done. And remember our other dates, the 15th in Kimmonbrack, the 22nd in Bodden Town, the 29th in West Bay, and August 5th in Georgetown. All these events are on Thursdays, and they happen from 4 to 7.
Okay, Doc?
I would like just to wrote a few things here about the late, great Marcus Garvey, who said, a people without knowledge of their past history, origin, and culture is like a tree without roots. Seafaring is our great roots. It was the thing that made us what we are today. We built our ships because nobody knew where we were. We were on the edge of nowhere. The place that time forgot. We built our ships and went out into the world, and we got people to recognize and to know us. And so we must continue to plant our seeds of deeds in the deep, fertile soil of education and knowledge of our history, where we came from and how we can grow, putting down our strong roots and bringing fertile, sweet fruits of accomplishments that we have already done. That, when others take the low road of bigotry and greed, we must also continue to take the high road of discipline and sacrifice like the Siemens did. And there's nothing wrong with going out onto the edge of the world like we did. We went out onto the edge of the world, and although we haven't gone out there now, there's nothing wrong with going out on the edge of a new beginning.
Okay, and I'm going to end, and I make no pretense of being a pastor or anything, but I do have my beliefs, and I believe that there is a superior being out there, and this is one of a prayer for seafarers. Heavenly Father, we pray to you that for those on the perilous ocean, that you will embrace them with your mighty protection and grant them success in all their rightful undertakings. Grant them in all hours of need to see that they have a God who remembers them, and grant them grace in the hour of danger to commit their souls into your hands, O Lord Jesus Christ, who can rebuke the storm and bring it to silence and lay the roaring waves to rest. Show them who call to you out of the deep that you hear their prayers and will save them. And finally, bring us all to the only safe port. Amen. Frail is our vessel, and the ocean is wide, but as in your mercy you have set our course, so steer the vessel of our life towards the everlasting shore of peace, and bring us at length to the quiet haven of our heart's desire, where you, O God, are blessed and live and reign forever and ever.
Amen.
Folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. I also want to remind you that we are brothers and our sisters keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate toward the charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join Sterling Dweeny Mikes at 12:15 for talk today. I believe Michael McLaughlin is filling in for him. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Caribbean Bakery, made Cayman fresh. Health City, now open at Camana Bay 7 days a week.
The Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure, and by West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
Moderate east to southeast winds and seas will